Guys, I'm going to show you how to add this kind of cool glowing effect around parts of your portrait where it looks like it's going behind it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to delete all my layers here and just go ahead and put those down into the garbage can. And here we go. We're going to start by creating a new blank layer. Just click on that and let's rename this. Let's call this Glow 1. And what we want to do here is we want to set up a brush tool to look how we want our glow to look. Just follow along with me. This will make sense when I'm all done. So I'm going to grab my brush tool. Keyboard shortcut is B. I'm going to set my foreground color to white by just pressing D on my keyboard and then X. And that'll get that color right there to be white. And then I want to come out here and I want to check. I want that to be like a hard edge brush, about that size. You don't want it to be huge. So I'm going to Command Z that, and I'm going to hold down Control and Option and left click on my mouse on a Mac. And see my hardness is currently at 13. I'm going to drag down until that is at 100. You could also just right click and set your hardness to 100. The size will be different. With the image I have, 120 pixels is about the right size, but it might be different for yours. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at 120 for this image, but you want to make it so it's about that big right there. Okay, let's come up here into the top left corner. We've never gone into this guy before, so let's click on this dude. This is going to bring up our brush settings and allow us to do some pretty crazy stuff. So let's come in here and right here, click on brush tip shape right at the very top. And just all I want you to do here is lower your spacing down to 1, and that's just going to kind of smooth it out a little bit. Then let's go to shape dynamics right here. Go ahead and click on that. And we're just going to change this size jitter right here. I'm just going to change this to pen pressure. Then I'm going to come down here to transfer, and I'm going to click on that. And I want to change this one right here to also be pen pressure. So I've got those 3 things done here. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. And now I'm just going to leave the brush tool alone. Don't make any other changes to it. And let's grab the pen tool. That's this dude right here. Its keyboard shortcut is P, and we've never used this before, so hold on tight. I want to just show you real fast how to use it. It's actually really simple. What I'm going to do is up here near the top of this antler, I'm just going to click once and let go. I'm not holding anything down. My camera's turned off, but if you can see my hands, they're waving around. They're not touching my mouse anymore. Now I'm going to come over to the other side of the antler, and I'm going to click and drag. Watch as I click and drag. See how as I drag this around, I can change the shape of that blue line? And I kind of want to have it come around and turn the corner and go back towards the antler and then let go. Now I'm going to put my mouse over on this side of the antler, and I'm going to click and drag again and let go, and then come down here and click and drag again and let go, and click and drag again and let go. And let's do one more, and you'll notice on this one I'm going to click and drag, but I'm going to start right on the antler, and you'll see why in just a second. I'm going to click and drag and pull that line out so it looks just like that. You can see I've kind of made this cool little swoopy line, and I did that by clicking and then clicking and dragging into each of these points. It might take you a few tries. As always, if you mess up, do a little Command Z and start over. Okay, now this is where we start to see some kind of cool stuff here. So what I'm going to do is, with my pen tool still selected, I'm going to right click on my screen, and I'm going to choose stroke path right here. And I want to make sure that simulate pressure is checked, and I want to make sure that this is on the brush. And this is basically going to add a stroke along that line with whatever settings we currently have on the brush, like this. Very nice. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Very cool. Let's come over here in our layers panel, and let's see right here the word paths. Let's click on that. And here's this path we just made. Let's save this so we don't lose it in the future. So I'm going to just click on these 3 lines right here. I'm going to choose Save Path. And it's important, give it a new name. My Path. Well, you call it whatever you want. It does not matter, but you do want to give it a new name. And we have now saved that dude, which is awesome. Okay, back to the Layers panel. Let's make a new layer by clicking on this plus button again. And we're going to call this one Neon Glow. Right there, press return to commit to that. And let's go back to our brush tool here in Photoshop. We're going to choose, let's come up here and click on this. We want to choose a different brush because we don't want those settings that we just made to apply to this brush. So let's choose general brushes right here. Let's choose a soft one. You might see it up here. You might need to scroll down. We're just looking for a soft edged brush. And the last time we did a size of 120. We're going to make this just slightly bigger. If you want to, of course, we can always right click and play around with our size and our hardness. Just make sure your hardness is down low. Somewhere between 0 and 20% is fine. and size just a little bit bigger than what we had before. That looks great right there. So I was at 120. I'll do about 135 this time. Then I'm going to come here into my color box, and I want to choose like a bright neon color. So purple is going to work great here. And that should be good. Let's go ahead and switch back to our pen tool. Our path is still there, which means as long as we're on our new layer, we can right-click again, and we're going to choose stroke path again. And we're going to choose brush and simulate pressure, and this time we get this look, which looks a little janky right off the bat, right? But that's okay, don't worry. We're going to come over here. We're going to change the layer blend mode of this. So make sure, again, we're still on Neon Glow. Let's change the layer blend mode to Linear Dodge Add, and that kind of gives us that cool effect right there. Now, what we need to do is we need to make it look like parts of this Neon Glow are coming from behind the antler and parts are in front. So let's turn Neon Glow off. Let's come back to Glow 1, and let's add a layer mask with this dude right here. So click right on that guy to add a layer mask, and let's switch back over to our brush tool, keyboard shortcut B, and what we're going to do is zoom in a little bit here. And we're going to layer mask out parts so that it looks like it's coming from behind the antler. We know that black will make things disappear and white will make things reappear. So I'm going to press X on my keyboard to set black as my foreground color. And I'm going to just kind of erase some of that part of the stripe from the antler, so it looks like it's behind it. This one obviously should be in front, which means this one right here should be behind. Now you can see I'm still using a soft edge brush, which may not be the best idea. So I'm going to right click, crank up my hardness to maybe about 80 or 90%, and let's try making it just a touch smaller as well. That's going to allow me to be a little more precise in my erasing. Take some time here and do it right. Remember, if you need to, like in this situation, it almost makes more sense for me to do that. And then press X and switch back to white and kind of paint it back in. So you'll want to switch back and forth between black and white as you're doing this. Come over here and paint that back in right there. Switch back to black by pressing X. Switch back to white, and there we go, black. There we go. That one should be in front, which means this one should be behind. So we'll just erase that with X again. And again, if you make a little mistake like I did right there, whoops, like right there, Command Z or press X and use a smaller brush to paint that back in. And there you go. Now my swoopity thing is looking like it's going around the antler. Let's turn the Neon Glow layer on, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a layer mask there, grab my brush tool, and any part of the swoop that is behind the antler, we once again want to erase the Neon Glow. We may choose to use a little bit of a softer edge brush here since it's more glowy. So look at that. I'm going to just erase that right there and erase that right there. Come down and do the same thing here. Being careful, I don't want to erase any of the glow coming from there. Just want to get this part right here. And by using a softer edge brush, it's going to definitely look a little more natural. Accidentally erased too much right there. Switch to X. Switch to white by pressing X on my keyboard. And then they'll come down here, and again with black, we'll erase that part off of there. Right there, like that. And there you go. We've just kind of added this cool little neon glow around the antlers of our elk. We could do the same thing over here. We'd need to start over though, and start over with a couple of new layers. So we'd probably make a new layer and call that Glow 2 and then Neon Glow 2. And we just repeat the process in creating a different swipe over on the other side. That's basically it, you guys.